Good morning, yogis. Comment below who we've got tuning in live today. I know many of you guys will watch this after the fact, but welcome to Restorative Yoga. I'm so excited to do this with you guys today. It's so funny, when I began my yoga journey, I think about 7 years ago, I was all about hot yoga, power yoga, and just sweating and really working out. And restorative yoga has become one of my favorites. I still love a good power class. I still love to work out. Next week we're going to do a yoga Pilates class, so we'll have a little bit more of that next week. But restorative yoga has a ton of benefits that I'm going to share with you guys today. So gather your props, get pillows if you have them, blankets if you have blocks, grab those. You can use pillows instead of blocks if you don't have yoga blocks at home, but gather your props. Like I say every week, have candles going so that it really sets the mood for your yoga this morning. If you have an oil diffuser, have oils. Come to class a couple minutes early and rub some essential oils on your wrists. If you have a headache, rub oil on your temples. But do those things to really prepare yourself to have a great class. I have salt lamps in the background, and I have candles burning here just to make it a beautiful ambiance to set the stage for a great practice. So we are going to start in child's pose today. So your options for child's pose are your traditional child's pose, where knees are wide, feet come together, and you just stretch out long. Because this is restorative, if you'd like to use a bolster or a pillow, what you can do is lay down and come to one cheek and really, really relax. So this is my favorite way to do it. I have a live student in the audience today, so I'm going to give her this so she can set up with this. Here you go, Miss Susan. And get settled into child's pose. And today I'm going to try to play some music in the background while I have you guys resting in these poses. And I'm going to kind of walk you through the benefits of restorative yoga and share some meditations with you throughout our practice. So settle in. Let's slow the breathing down. This is all about you meeting yourself on the mat for the next hour and really relaxing. And you're going to be very impressed to hear some of the benefits of restorative yoga. I think a lot of people, when they first hear and learn about restorative yoga, think because it's not a super active yoga, that it's not as beneficial as it is. So I'm going to go over some of the benefits with you, but it's an incredible way of helping to heal the whole body and mind in activating the parasympathetic or relaxation response. It helps to balance the whole nervous system and sets up the whole body for deep healing, growth, and repair. It's gentle, slow, still style of yoga that involves long passive holds in a series of restful poses. We'll do several different poses today. Yogis are often supported by props to enhance or deepen their experience and achieve a state of total relaxation and release. And that's what we're going to be doing here in child's pose, Balasana. And if you are on one cheek, when that gets a little uncomfortable, I'm going to encourage you to switch sides, and you can go back a couple times. I like to make sure I time that for you at least halfway through and remind you, but should I forget, please make sure you're switching sides. Slow down your breathing and really make a concerted effort to take deep inhales through the nose and exhale. And you can do your exhales closed mouth or open mouth, but try to let go of anything that you're thinking about. If you've got a to-do list 1,000,000 miles long for today, let's let that go, and let's really focus on your breath and your meditation and your 1 hour of peace and quiet to yourself this morning. Some of the benefits of restorative yoga. You really can benefit from full and deep stretches. Active practice is fabulous, but there's only so long that you can stay in an intense back bend without feeling the burn. Long, supported poses help your body to fully engage, soften, and allow the precise positioning to work its magic. You can enhance your flexibility. All forms of yoga help to make you bendier, but regular use of restorative poses leads you to more quickly to this nirvana. Restorative yoga is not a stretching class, and there is no end goal involved, like being able to touch your toes after 10 sessions. You are exploring what happens when you release the tension your body habitually holds. And for many of us, we hold that tension in our hips. A lot of us hold tension in our shoulders, so we're going to be doing both shoulder and hip openers today. And be sure to flip sides if you have not changed cheeks, please. And if you can sink a little deeper into this pose, feel free to do that. And if it starts to get uncomfortable and you want to bring your knees together for the ending of this, feel free to do that as well. The next benefit: find out where you hold your stress. Like I said, I know where I hold mine. Restorative poses give you the opportunity to notice where you hold this tension. Once you come to this realization, you can make small changes in your everyday life to reduce the stress and tension you allow to build up in your body. This next one you'll all love. So many of my coaching clients come to me to help them with weight loss. You can trim fat and lose weight by doing restorative yoga. And there's actually a 2013 study from the University of California in San Diego that showed that restorative yoga helps overweight women trim fat. The study compared restorative yoga with a more active stretching regimen over 48 weeks and found that women practicing yoga lost more fat. The next one is to boost your immune system. And during this crazy season we find ourselves in right now, don't we want to do anything we can to boost our immune system? Balance your nervous system. Quiet your mind. That is another thing that I'm forever helping my students with, my clients in my health and wellness business, is that stress and busy minds does not help with helping you have a healthier body, helping you with weight loss. So learning to quiet your mind, so important. Restorative yoga can also be a great recovery from illness if you've gone through any illness or injury. It can also be healing for emotional pain. A lot of people find yoga because they've gone through some intense trauma, some really negative things have happened, bad relationships, and they come to yoga to find healing. And the last way is, the last benefit is that it's a great segue to finding a good meditation practice. And again, something that can really help you with your whole overall life. All right, we're going to take a couple more deep breaths before we move out of this pose. And when you're ready, really, really slowly come on up off of your pillow or prop if you're on one, and pull the prop out from underneath you. And we're going to transition to your back, and we're going to get into reclining bound angle pose, Supta Baddha Konasana. And I'll show you what that looks like. You'll lay down on your mat and you'll bring your feet together and your knees apart. And again, we're at the beginning of class and we are very restorative right now. So if you have blocks handy or pillows, you can prop your knees with the blocks or pillows. And then we're going to come all the way down and lay down, putting one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart. Would my live student like the blocks for propping? All right. So lying in Supta Baddha Konasana, I really want you to focus on your breaths. Nice deep inhales. And sometimes it helps me to breathe in for a count, a certain number count, and focus on that because my mind continually races. So breathing in for 4 counts and then exhaling for 4 counts. Just try to start doing that and really relax into the pose. Okay, keep taking those deep breaths in and out and really work on letting go in this pose. Closing your eyes, breathing normally, and every time you breathe out, imagine blowing out tightness, bad feelings, any negativity, any stress that you're having, any tension in your body. Exhale that every single time you're taking an exhale. And then when you inhale, breathe in the love that you have for your body, the love that you have for yourself, that you're taking time out to do some self-care this morning. Breathe in with intention. What are you wanting to get out of this practice? How would you like to feel after our 1 hour together this morning? And if at any point this position gets uncomfortable, you can prop your knees up a little higher. Sometimes I actually like to cross my feet like I'm sitting in Indian style. And if you decide to do that, then make sure you do both sides. We'll just be here for another couple minutes and then we're going to move to our next pose. Okay, now when we're coming out of this pose, the best way to do this is to gently remove, if you have blocks or pillows underneath your knees, gently remove those and literally take your hands and have them help lift your knees to center. So your knees are back up onto the mat. And then however you would like to transition, we're gonna meet on the mat in tabletop. And this is the only movement I'm going to have you guys do today. So just meeting in the mat in tabletop with your knees, your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists. We're just going to do a couple cat-cows before we do our next shoulder stretch. So take a big inhale, and as you're inhaling, we're going to round your back, bringing the chin into the chest, really bringing those abs in tight. And then on your exhale, we're going to move the opposite direction, looking up towards the sky, arching the back. And on your breaths, you do not need to follow me with this. Just do a few cat-cows to really warm up the back. We're going to be doing a beautiful shoulder stretch next. So let's just warm up the back and shoulders, exhaling and inhaling. And if you have any other forms of stretch here that you like to do, some people like to look back side to side and stretch, looking back at their toes. Other people like to go more into a rounded circle position. If you do that, be sure you're going to go both ways. And then once you're done with that, what we're going to do is take a big inhale, and on the exhale, let's lift that right arm towards the sky, looking up at those fingertips, and gently bring the arm through, threading the needle, coming down onto the right shoulder, right cheek, and resting into this pose. This is a beautiful shoulder stretch. If you'd like a little bit more, you can take that left hand, reaching it up towards the sky, and even do a half bend with it. Any position where your hand is comfortable, where your shoulders getting that benefit of the stretch, where it's not too much on your neck is awesome. And we're not going to stay in this one for too awful long. But this is a great way to release all the stress and tension that we tend to carry right in our neck and shoulders. Keep breathing and send your breath wherever you might be feeling this pose. So often I'm feeling it in the top part of my shoulder. So inhale to that part of your body. And when it starts to feel a bit much, slowly come on out of it. And what you can do is start bringing that right hand through, coming up onto your left hand, coming back up into tabletop, bringing the right arm up for one more stretch, and then coming back to tabletop. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So taking a nice big inhale, let's now lift the left arm up, looking up at the sky, stretching it out, and then threading the needle, bringing it through, coming down onto that left shoulder, and resting your left cheek and stretching in the same exact way you did on the other side. So if you raised your opposite arm up, if you took a half bend, let's go ahead and do that same thing here. And I'm going to read to you the blessing of faith. The universe is testing you. Will you be faithful and true to yourself? Be courageous, for you are supported by a divine ocean of love. You are gifted at this time with the blessing of a strong faith that will see you through the present challenges. These are cards that I picked through a stack of blessing cards, and I thought that one was so appropriate with what we are all facing, all the challenges we're facing right now. When you're ready to start coming out of this pose, nice and easy, coming on up to the right hand, pulling everything out and coming back up into center, and then taking that left arm back up, stretching, looking up at the sky, and then coming back up down to all fours. We are going to be transitioning into downward facing dog. We're going to be doing this 2 times today. So let's meet in downward facing dog on our mats, and let's take one big inhale through the nose and do a lion's breath exhale. So together, let's inhale and then exhale. And that is something you can do on your own at any time when you feel the stress levels going up in your life. Taking another inhale, let's lift the right leg towards the sky, keeping your core nice and tight. And then slowly bring that right knee into the right wrist crease, bringing your right foot out to the side, coming into sleeping pigeon. Coming up onto your fingers nice and tall, straightening out that back leg. Take a look back, make sure it's nice and straight. Again, if you want to prop a block underneath your right cheek, you can put a block right there for support, or pillow if you don't have a block handy. And then we're going to take a big inhale. And on your exhale, we're going to come into sleeping pigeon. So find what's comfortable for you. I like to put both hands down and rest my head on my hands, on the top of my hands. If you are even more flexible and can put a cheek down or come all the way down to your forehead, feel free to do that. This is one of my absolute favorite hip opening stretches. I probably will teach it in every class I do. I love it that much. And we're going to do both sides. And with this pose, I am going to read you a blessing of gratitude. Be grateful for all of your experiences, for all in life serves a purpose. There is a blessing in all that did or did not happen. There is a blessing unfolding this very minute. Listen to your heart and follow its wisdom. Be mindful, for the journey is as important as the destination. And my live student today is my friend Susan Wheeler from Connecticut, and we were having a talk on this just this morning, a book that we're both reading, Think Like a Monk, and they talked about this. And we had this conversation about all the bad things that we've gone through and the bad experiences in our life, how grateful we are for them because they've shaped us and taught us so many lessons that we are using today. What a blessing. Be sure you are taking nice deep inhales and breathing in to wherever you're feeling this pose. You might really be feeling it in the outer hip flexor on your right side, your glutes, maybe even a little bit in your lower back. Okay, let's take 3 more nice sets of breath in and out. And when you're ready, nice and slowly, come back up onto your hands. Let's look up, take a nice big stretch up. And with control, let's just lower down onto the right glute and swing the left foot in front of you, and if you're able, stack that left foot on the right knee. This is a hard pose for some people. If you need to prop, sometimes the top leg people have a hard time with, put a blanket or block right underneath there. This is full pigeon pose. So we'd like you to get comfortable right here, sitting up nice and tall. And let's just take a big inhale. And then on your exhale, let's lower down. And if you can, come down to your elbows, fabulous. If you're able to go any further, that's great. You can come all the way down, rest your head on your hands. If it's more comfortable for you to reach forward with your hands, feel free to do that as well. Continuing the stretch into our hip flexors. Oftentimes you'll hear teachers share how people can have emotional releases from doing hip opening stretches. So if you feel anything come up, take notice. Sometimes a lot of things that have happened to us in our past hold on in our body, and we feel them as tension and stress spots physically in our body. And this is a great way to help release them. Keep breathing and sending the breath to any tightness that you're feeling. When you're ready, just start walking up onto those hands, and let's just do a nice big stretch, tall spine. And then we're going to unravel that left leg, bringing it back into pigeon pose, coming back up onto the hands, and then we're going to bring the right leg back to meet the left leg in downward facing dog. And let's pedal out those feet and feel if you can sense a difference from your right leg to your left leg. Hopefully your right leg is feeling much looser and less tight than your left. And if you need to shake that right leg out at all, you can feel free to come into three-legged dog, even bending that leg and opening up the hip, sometimes rolling an ankle in both directions. Coming back down into downward facing dog. And then when you're ready, take a big deep inhale, bringing that left leg up to three-legged dog. And we're going to prepare for pigeon on the other side, bringing the left knee to the left wrist crease. Again, bringing that, did I say the wrong side? No, I did it right?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, so making sure you're turning around, looking at that right leg, that it's nice, straight, and long. Coming up onto the tippies of your fingers, looking up, and then lowering down when you're ready. And again, see where are you comfortable? Are you just fine on your elbows? Does that feel great for you? Is that a wonderful stretch? Or do you need to bring your elbows out and put your hands on top of each other and rest your forehead down onto your hands? What's most comfortable for you? What is your body asking for? Let's rest into that position for a couple minutes, breathing deeply into that hip. Okay, a few more breaths before we start to transition out of this pose. When you're ready, let's just walk on up with those hands. Take one more big stretch looking up at the ceiling. Feel that stretch in your neck and lower back. And then we're going to lower down onto your left hip, bringing the right leg all the way around. And we're going to do full pigeon again on this side. And again, if you see that this leg might be tighter for you, this side is tighter, and your legs are not coming down, feel free to stick a pillow or a block underneath that right knee. And let's take a nice tall posture, big inhale, and on your exhale, we're gonna lower down. Maybe this time you can go a little bit further. Maybe this time, if all you were able to do is get down to your elbows, try to walk those hands out a little bit further, or bring your hands together, elbows out wide, and try to see if you can lower your chin or your forehead to your hands. Really relaxing, letting the belly go, feeling this so deeply in your right hip flexor, your glutes. Such a great stretch. Breathing in to wherever you're feeling tension and sending your breath there. I have a yoga 365 days of daily wisdom for life on and off the mat. And today's message is your love is limitless. No matter how many people, places, and things you love, and how intensely you love them, you will always have more love. Think of your love as being like the ocean. There are places where it is shallow and places where it is deep. There are areas that are tranquil and areas of turbulence. But no matter how many different experiences you have of love, your love is vast and unlimited like the ocean. Your love cannot be dispersed or diluted no matter how many times you love or how many people, places, and things you love. You are never without love for a moment of your life because your love is limitless. What a beautiful message today. And when you're ready to start coming out of this pose, gently move on up onto your fingertips and move your hands closer to your body and bring your legs straight out, and let's just go ahead and give them a shake. Shake it out. And then however you want to get there, we're going to lie down to your back. If you want a little core work, let's go nice and slow, bringing it down, but we're going to lay down onto our backs. We're going to do a spinal twist here. So what I'd like you to do is bring your feet on up, knees pointing to the sky, bringing your arms out to a T, looking straight up. Let's go ahead and take that right leg and just cross it over the left, like you're sitting in a chair, crossing your legs. And we're going to take your hips and move them out just about an inch or two to the right, and then gently lower those knees down to the ground. Now this might be a little much for some, so if you're not loving the way this one is feeling, feel free to just stack your hips, bringing your knees on top of each other. Feel free to prop with pillows, blankets here. However you can get the most out of this hip. The goal here is, if you're able to take your head and then look over to your right fingertips, you can really feel this stretch on the right side of your body. So breathing into that right side body, closing your eyes if you'd like, and just relaxing and breathing in. Nice deep breaths. If the 4 count helps you to stay relaxed and present, then count to 4 on your inhales and count to 4 on your exhales. Sometimes when I move into this pose, I'll actually hear a little crack in my lower back because I've released tension from my lower back. Take a couple more breaths and start to gently move your face and head first back to center, looking up towards the ceiling. And then if your legs are crossed, you can uncross them. If they're stacked, let's just slowly bring the knees back up to center, feet on the ground. And let's take the feet wide, bringing the knees together to have a little counter pose here and stretch in the opposite direction. Taking a few deep breaths here. Again, I feel this in my hip flexors, a little bit on my inside of my thighs as well. We've been doing a lot of fast walking, so these are great poses to really help recover from that. You can stay right here, or if you'd like to windshield wiper your knees, go ahead and do that, bringing one knee down towards the floor while the other leg comes up. Just windshield wiper those knees. And then bringing those feet back on the mat, knees up. We're going to go ahead and send those arms wide again, taking the left foot now and crossing it over the right. Getting ourselves all situated. Let's take those hips and just gently slide them out a couple inches to the left side, and then gently lower those knees down. And again, if you like that cross position, that is a really great way to extend the twist. You can have your knees together and stacked if that's a little bit easier for you and more comfortable. The goal here is not just to be comfortable. We want to push a little bit out of our comfort zone and see if we can stretch a little further, but we never should experience pain. If you're able to take your head and look towards your left fingertips, tilting your head to the side, fabulous. And sending all your breath to the left side body now. Nice deep inhales. It is so easy to be distracted. How hard is it to find 1 hour where people aren't trying to talk to us, message us, 1 hour of quiet for yourself? What a gift you're giving yourself this morning. take 3 more breaths on this side. And when you're ready, slowly moving your head back to center first, and then helping those legs unstack, uncross, and then bringing those feet back up onto the mat, knees up. One more time, we'll bring the feet wide and knees to center. And you can hold there, or if you prefer to windshield wiper a couple more times, feel free to do that. And then when you're ready, we're going to come up into seated position, and we're going to prepare for our next pose. If you have a bolster or pillows handy, what we're going to do is put them right behind your back. So this is great for the bolster on this one. And this pose is such a wonderful back and heart opening pose. It's called supported fish pose. So what you'll do is you'll bring your pillows, blankets, bolster, whatever you have at home behind you, right on up to your butt. And then you're slowly going to roll down, and you're going to extend your feet long and bring your hands out to the side, palms facing the ceiling, and really letting those shoulders go back and down. And you'll feel this stretch. It'll feel great on your lower back, but it really opens up your shoulders and your heart and your throat. You shouldn't feel any tension here. You're fully supported, but really enjoy this and take a few deep breaths. Relax into this pose. We're not going to stay here for too long. A blessing from the light. You are dearly loved, more than you can possibly imagine, and you are never alone. A universe of love and light surrounds you and showers you with blessings that ebb and flow in your heart. And you can always modify these poses. So we kind of set you up, but if it's too high or not high enough, change the support. You can always add to or decrease your support for what your body needs. I certainly hope with the blessings I'm reading for you today and our daily wisdom that you're feeling loved. But who can you send love to right now? Think of someone who could really use some of your positivity, some of your love, some of your energy, and send it to them right now. take another breath or two, and we're going to start to transition out of this pose into our very last pose of the morning. So pull aside any props you have and come on up to seated position on your mat. What we're going to do for our last and final pose for Shavasana is legs up the wall. So you have a couple options here. You can find a wall and we'll get you situated there. If you don't have access to a wall, you can do this on a chair, or if you prefer just regular Shavasana, feel free to do that. So if you are going to use either a chair or a wall, it's kind of the same. You're going to shimmy up to the wall. So down here, a great spot is that door over there. And you just shimmy on up to it, and then you're gonna roll down onto the floor and then come on up. So whether it is feet up the wall, you'll be like this, or if you have a chair handy and you prefer to do this, a couple things you can do. If you have anything that's a little weighted near you, if it's a bolster or anything that could add a little bit of weight, you can rest it on your belly. Some people like to put pillows there. You can cover in a blanket for Shavasana. So feel free to bring a blanket with you wherever you're setting up. So legs up the wall, legs on a chair, or your regular Shavasana position. The goal of this pose is complete and utter letting go, relaxing. If you fall asleep, it's absolutely fine. I will bring you back in a few minutes. The last blessing I will read to you today, Om Shanti blessing. Om Shanti. Blessed are you with everlasting peace beyond words or understanding. Blessed are you with tranquility and bliss. Blessed are you with the clarity that reveals the beauty of your soul and through which all appears as infinite. Okay, we are going to come back and start to wiggle our fingers and our toes and start to wake the body back up. Hopefully you've had an hour of pure relaxation. Think of how much more productive you'll be today. And for those of you watching the recording, this will be perfect for you right before you head to bed tonight. What you're going to do next is bring those knees, if you are with legs up the wall or onto a chair, bring those knees in and give them a hug and rock side to side, gently massaging the back. If you need to pull away a little bit from the wall, that's fine. And we're going to roll over to your favorite side. So I'd like you to pick your favorite side and get into the fetal position, laying on your side. Taking a few more deep inhales and exhales. And then when you're ready, let's meet together at the top of your mats or wherever you are in seated position. And let's bring our hands to our knees, palms facing forward. Bring your thumb and your middle finger together. We're going to do a mudra together. And if you're comfortable closing your eyes, let's take one more big deep inhale through the nose and let it go. Bringing your hands to heart center. I want to thank you for practicing with me today. And if you watch the video afterwards, please comment below. Let me know how you liked this restorative yoga class. And I want to thank you so much for your donations. We've raised over $260 so far, going to ISA Foundation to feed hungry children, and what a blessing. So if you would still like to contribute to that, in the description in this group is my Venmo and PayPal information. We would love that. Please enjoy all of the recipes that we are sharing. And if you need help with your nutrition, just let us know that too. I know a lot of you already are using our products, but we're here to help you in every area, mind and body. Bringing your hands to your fingers to your third eye center. One last inhale in. The light in me honors and cherishes and adores the light in each of you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Have a fabulous day.